everybody. Welcome to One More with Danny Coleman. Again, I am Danny Coleman. That has never changed so far in week 12, episode 12, here on One More with Danny Coleman, live from Monmouth Music in Red Bank, New Jersey. And I want to thank Mario DiBartolo for once again allowing us for a 12th consecutive week to set up here and to bring you this show, the show that brings you one more musician, one more author, one more actor, one more actress, one more of anything we can think of. So if you could think of anything, please send along an email to dcoleman.dreice, D-R-I-C-E, dcoleman.dreice at gmail.com, and we'll see what we can get on the air for you. But our sponsors tonight, besides Monmouth Music, are the Downtown All-Stars of Red Bank and Antoinette Boulangerie, the purveyors of these fine pastries. This dizzying array of pastries. Dizzying array. And my guest this evening has come as far as me, actually. She is no stranger to myself or any of my programs. Miss Lisa Bouchelle. Hello, Lisa. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
We are fantastic.
So great to be here.
That. I'm good. I'm glad. We booked this in a while ago.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
We got it all together. Now, for those of you who may or may not be familiar with Lisa is we're going to label you right now. You are an international touring musician. See?
That's me.
That's right. She has toured internationally with artists such as Meatloaf and Ted Nugent and John Popper, and she still plays the local bars and local restaurants and does the local charitable gigs. And you have how many CDs?
Probably about 6 now.
6 CDs now, and which is why you're here, because you're getting ready.
Yes, my EP just dropped recently with a 4-song EP that's been hitting the radio stations. So
Correct.
We're promoting that.
That's right, which is called?
That's called Lipstick Tomboy.
Lipstick Tomboy. And before we go any further, websites and all that, we'll get them out there right away.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Pretty much everything links off of lisabouchelle.com. So it's LISABOUCHELLE. It's long.
lisabouchelle.com.
And Facebook's on there. Twitter links off of there. And everything that I'm doing on my show schedule and everything.
There you go. Everything Lisa Bouchelle is right there. So I talked to you a little bit before we went on. I said, this time, Lisa, we're going to go back a little bit.
Yeah.
Because this may be a different audience than Rock on Radio or my radio show, which you've been on multiple times over the years. When did you start performing? Because it's a pretty interesting story, actually.
When I was 4 years old, I always wanted to sing, and I would ride in the car with my parents and listen to my father sing to the radio even before that, and thought, oh, his voice is so sing like Dad, because my mom was a poet, but she couldn't sing, and I wanted to sing like my dad. So I found out when I started to try that I actually was a songbird like my dad. So that was great. My parents, I grew up in, as a lot of people say that their family put the funk in dysfunction. I think I could give them all a run for their money. I had great parents, but they did not get along so well. There was just a lot of turbulence. So my objective was always to calm everybody down and make everyone happy. So whenever I would sing, everybody seemed to stop fighting for a while, and everybody seemed happy. And I was like, this is great. It has such power to bring people together, which is ironic because that really is the main reason I still do this as a full-time job. That means so much to me that music brings people together. But I got up for a talent contest at a local campground where we were staying. And I was like 4 years old, and I was the smallest one in the talent contest, and I sang America the Beautiful, and my grandmother made me a patriotic outfit. So I got up, and I was so small that they had to put me on a picnic table as a stage because no one could see me. So I thought, oh, I got a stage. Nobody else got a stage. I must be so important. And I got up and I sang the song, and everyone started clapping. And when I got finished, my family was like, oh, they were all getting along. Everybody was happy. And I was like, this is what I want to do. And I won the talent contest. I was like, this is what I want to do. And I honestly never changed my mind. So I've been doing it ever since. Now there's a big long story between then and now, but this is how I started. And it still sort of remains my goal. I think music is a universal language that brings people together. So.
Well, that it does.
Yes.
It brings, it's really funny. it brings people together from sometimes the strangest. There's an old saying, politics makes for strange bedfellows.
Yes.
Well, music is in a lot of ways is the same way. Just on my way here tonight, I get a text message from my daughter.
Okay.
Telling me that she just got her first serious boyfriend. Okay. My daughter.
Wow. That's great.
So she gets a boyfriend, and she texts me telling me that his father is a Facebook friend of mine.
Okay. Who knew, right?
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
okay.
small world.
Who? There's like 17,000 Facebook friends in this world. You know. And I looked, and sure enough, the guy is, but he's a musician.
Has he been on?
He's a musician.
shows?
No, he's never been on my shows, but for whatever reason, we're Facebook friends.
Yeah.
Then through the industry, through the art,
Yeah.
it brings people together.
So
you
true.
know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
it can tear people apart too, and I think all
Oh.
this competitive stuff. I've gone into that before we've spoken, but
Yeah.
I hope that will be a passing thing, that people will look at it more like something that brings people together.
Well, back in the day when there was a bar on every corner in Trenton, because you and I are both kind of from the same area there.
Yeah.
There's a bar on every corner back when our friends Ernie White and Paul Plummerai and Joe Zook, they could play 7 nights a week
And I
if they
heard the
wanted
drinking
to.
age was like 18.
18,
Like everybody was just
right.
out. I know. All
It was
the fun
18 when
happened before
yeah.
I could play. Like, what happened?
And there was bars and venues for music everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
And but back then too, there was a lot of competition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Between bands. If
Yeah.
you weren't there, wasn't any of this stuff like there is today, where there's one person's
Really?
plays with 4 or 5 different people.
Really?
It was, you're either in my band or you're out.
How did it change?
It's hard. It's kind of. I think the lack of venues.
Okay.
I think as you mature, that changes too. You know,
Yeah.
you get older, and at least from what I see. I mean, I could be right, I could be wrong. I don't know, but
from your perspective.
right. And
Yeah.
and if you were playing 5 nights a week, you really didn't have time to play.
This is true. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
There was a band that I was in. We would play every Friday and Saturday at a place called the Manor Hotel over on Whitehead Road, the Manor Hotel. Play at the Red Carpet Lounge on Cass Street.
Right.
And then Monday night was like Casey Jones or something out on Route 130. We'd play like 4 nights in a row.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't
And
have that
were
anymore.
you just doing music at that point in time? Like,
No, I was working full time.
you must have been exhausted.
I was working a 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. or 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. shift. I was dying on Tuesday morning. I was young, though. I was 18, 19 years old. So that's all kind of changed. So
Yeah.
how did your career develop from that day at the campground? I mean, what?
Okay,
Because,
so, like-
you've got, like you said, there's a big space in there.
Yeah, there is a big space. I was really determined to do this, and I was on a mission. I was on a mission from God. But like my dad, like some of my family supported me, but like let's put it this way, my grandmother did not want me to do this not because she didn't want me to be happy, but she just thought it was like a crazy life, and she was more old fashioned, and it is a crazy life, and I've had some crazy times. I'm pretty level headed, and I have a good work ethic, as I try, so I'm okay. I navigate through it, but it is a crazy world, and I don't blame her for being concerned. But, no matter what anybody said, I was bound and determined. So I went for singing lessons. I didn't do a lot in school. I went for singing lessons. I went for guitar lessons. Eventually, Ernie was my guitar teacher. I had one other guitar teacher before him. Just relentlessly pursued this dream and played locally. I started writing when I was really small. I would even write in the bathtub, like sitting there. My mom's like, where's she coming up with these crazy like love song lyrics? She's like, I'm concerned, like she's watching too much TV. Or, I used to just really be into it, but I never would sing those songs out in public. I just never considered myself to be a songwriter, even though I was writing all the time, a singer, and I dancing lessons and guitar and piano. But eventually, I met some friends when I was probably, I want to say like 15. And they were like, you write really well. You should be doing this too. And I'm like, I don't know. Plus, it's so personal. It was like my diary. I'm like, when I'm on stage, I like my makeup. I like my eyelashes. I like my costumes. I like my, I'm a hippie chick, but I like the whole, I'm on stage. And it's kind of like a separation between me, those lights, and it's a little
The audience.
safety zone. And now all of a sudden I'm, spilling my diary contents in these songs, and it's just like, that's like a lot, I don't think I've ever been the same since I started that. It has a big impact, but I tried it, and people really started liking my songs. Some people don't, but a lot of people were moved by them or related to similar experiences that they've had. I try to write very honestly, and that, as I was saying, that was another way of bringing people together through the music. I said, oh, when you sing this song, it reminds me my daughter's going through something, and that made me feel great because I see myself as a service organization to do this through music. So that was great. That enhanced my mission. So I kept on going with it, and of course I made a CD and sent it to some local writers and radio, all this like we all do. And one of the people that I had sent it to was Hal Selzer, who was writing at the time for a lot of local publications as well as Europe and other areas in the world. He would write for these music publications. So I sent my CD to him, and he gave me a good review. And so the next time I made a CD, I sent him my second one, and he actually contacted me, and he said, Lisa, he goes, I just want to say that this is like a big step up in your writing. Like, even in the production's still a little rough and stuff. He goes, I can hear like your writing and your arrangements. It's like a big step up from your last CD. I'd like to pass this along to some people. He had a deal back. Now he's playing with Joan Jett bass, and he used to had a deal back in, I don't know, a while before that with a band, Adrian Dodds. John Bushnell was in it, a bunch of different people. Lance Highland Stark was a drummer. So he said he had some contacts from back then that he'd like to pass my CD along to and see if they would want to work with me, an entertainment attorney, and and if they did, that he would take a percentage just to see how it goes. Very casual. So we tried that. We did get some. We shopped it, but we didn't get any bites from that particular endeavor. But then we tried again with some other contacts, right. And that's when things started to happen, and I got some things going on. So we decided to sign a management deal, and Hal is still my manager. We worked on the tours together. When I got back from the tours, the TV show, the Rockstar Kitchen TV show that I host.
That's another thing you do. You host a television show. Yeah,
and Hal and I have worked as a team on musical ventures, television ventures, creative tours, and he's back home when I'm, or even now on the road when I'm doing stuff, and we're communicating, and we just work together as a really good team. So he has been my manager for a long time, and I do a lot of things for our team. I mean, I get a budget, but I do a lot too. Like, even with our radio promotions, I assist with some of that stuff. I assist with a lot of the TV, the costuming stuff, obviously some of the production stuff when he's not in the studio. So, but that's kind of the point where I went from just playing local gigs to having some opportunities. Now, having said that, Hal was able to open doors. Hal was able to get other people to open doors. But as he's reminded me, and it is true, if I don't come through when I'm there at that opportunity, I'm not getting another one. So it's kind of like, I heard a football player, and I wish I knew who said this. Something like luck is opportunity when it meets preparedness. So I'm so fortunate to have these opportunities, but I try to always be prepared when I get there and just do the best I can. And because of that, I've built on that. And that's pretty much how this all, I've done, a lot of different things since then, the tours and the TV show and then the local gigs. I put my all into every show I do. I really do. I try.
Well, that I know. I've seen you more often, than, well, not as often as I'd like, but I have seen you perform many times. Yeah. That is very true, though. You have to be ready to go. Mm-hmm. We kind of talked about that before we went on stage. Opportunity knocks. You got to be able to answer that door, and I think there's a level of dedication. Now, I don't think everybody knows when they're 4 that they want to do.
Yeah, I
know. But at that moment, you knew.
Yeah.
And you've been working towards it your entire.
Yeah.
Life.
And now my house is paid, my car is paid. I do it all the time, and I love it.
And you love it, right? I always marvel at the people who say things like, "When are you going to get a real job?" This is a real job. I put more time and effort into this.
I think people think in America, a lot of people, not everybody, think you have to hate for it to be your job. You have to hate your job. And it's like, we all know, like, you don't have to hate your job. Right. I mean, the American dream is to do your thing and make money from it and find it rewarding. Yeah. I mean, we don't have to hate our job. It's still work. I still complain about it. It would be no fun to have a job I couldn't complain about.
Yeah, right?
Really. I like to complain. Not often.
No, and that's, people, I think a lot of times people look at what you do and what professional musicians do, and because there's two levels of professionalism. If you get paid, you're a professional.
Yes.
So the guy that plays one weekend or one night a week in a cover band is professional because he's getting paid.
Yeah.
Then there's you and the rest, like this, who, you are.
We're doing it full time.
Professional musicians, you're full time. It's how you pay your bills.
Yeah.
It's how you
Yeah.
put food on your table, medication in your mouth. Yeah. And they don't realize. I think the perception is that you play 2 hours a night on stage.
Oh, gosh.
And you get to tour the world in some glamorous bus, and you get free meals and free booze.
But it means I'm doing my job right if it looks like that, If I can still get on, and especially like I'm hauling equipment some nights, like when you do the local stuff, if it's cold, those microphone stands are freezing cold. I haul my own when I do my solo gigs. I just haul it on in there, And but it's like I think there's so much behind it, like you just said, that people don't realize. They think we just sit and party all day, and I really want to figure out how to do that, because if somebody's doing that, I want to do that too. I can't figure that out.
Yeah, right. Well, no, we talked about it when you were on my radio show, and I heard you talking to Mario about it.
Yeah.
Before we came in here to sit down, about what you would do on the tour bus while your band was out having a good time.
Yeah.
You're doing
Yeah.
something totally different.
Yeah, and even get into the room, I just have to make sure that I'm grounded, and I go do my yoga. I have an extra suitcase, I was saying, with my weights and different things that I do in my room, like work out. If there's no gym there, or I don't feel like going down to the gym, I just make sure I keep myself healthy, because, like I was saying to Mario, you have to build in the nap. Your nap a day, you have to build in your workout. You have to build in going over your songs, anything you're preparing, like a radio show. Sometimes we get done a show, and I have to be cleaned up from the venue, sell the second round of merchandise, and then get back to the room and be at the radio show early in the morning. And sometimes it's with one of my musicians or by myself. So I have to really keep on it and just look at it like it's a job, It's a job I enjoy, but it's definitely a lot. It's hard work.
No, it's work. It's people just don't. I always marvel at the people that I interview. Not like you now, but like when I, for my columns and things.
Yeah.
I always marvel at the people who act like it's a chore to talk to me or to talk to another writer, because you know what? It goes with the territory. You gotta, I mean, fortunately, they're few and far between.
Yeah.
But every now and then you get somebody that's like, all right, let's just get this over with. And it's like, I had a guy say to me one time, it was the second time I had interviewed him.
Yeah.
And he's on the B list now because he was popular back in the 60s.
Okay.
And I said to him, hey, it's a pleasure to speak with you again. And, I see you're going to be playing here again, and that's great. And he's like, you got 15 minutes, make them count.
Ooh.
I was like, wow.
Do you think it was an ego thing, or was he just depressed? Because how some musicians, there's a lot of depression in this.
Well, at this point, I think it was an ego thing. But you know what I said to him at that point? I said, well, I don't think it's even going to take that long.
That's so mean. That's awesome.
And he was like, touche,
Touche.
Well, right now, I'm going to talk about the Downtown All-Stars of Red Bank very quickly. Keep your eyes open for the next charity compilation CD produced by the Downtown All-Stars of Red Bank. Magic on the Navasink. It's their next disc. Magic on the Navasink will feature original works by artists such as Colossal Street Jam, Dawn Hopkins, DJ Pinelli, and John Hathaway. Magic on the Navasink is being produced to benefit the Red Bank Elks Lodge number 233 Veteran Support Programs. Downtown All-Stars' first compilation CD, Bright Lights on Broad Street, was in support of Little Kids Rock, which provides free music instruction and instruments to underserved public schools all across the United States. That's available on the Downtown All-Stars website and at select retailers. The Downtown All-Stars of Red Bank, LLC, is a collective of local musicians and performing artists bound together to raise funds and awareness for charities and worthy causes using the immeasurable power of music. Go to redbankallstars.com or follow them on Facebook at facebook.com/redbankallstars. And, yeah, they do nice work. That's a whole bunch of local original artists.
Sounds great, yeah.
That actually met right down the street here at the downtown.
Oh, yeah, the
Right
downtown,
over
that's
on,
historic.
I guess that's Front Street. Is that Front Street? Yeah, because this is, I lose my bearings once I'm inside.
Yeah.
It's the red. It's the red wall.
It's the it does things to you.
It's a blue room with a red vase.
There you go. Yeah, it's a red one. We should have put a blue vase.
First should have brought it out. So when you're writing your CDs, and you just said, that they're very personal. All of your music is very personal, and I don't know anybody who is a musician that writes whose music isn't personal.
Yeah.
How do you decide what's going to come out and what's not?
Well, I mean, I think that by the time I go into the studio, and I always record more than is on the record, but by the time I go in there, I have it pretty well narrowed down because I usually road test my songs. Like when I'm between touring or between records, I test them locally. I test them. Even if I'm out, I'll on the road, I'll try them. And just because they develop synergistically with what I get back from the crowd. Even if it's like I'm not noting that, I can just kind of tell, okay, you feel what works, what groove, and they develop as I'm playing them. So I don't usually like write it and then go right in the studio and perform it. It's been around for about a month.
Right, so you test them.
So I test.
Use your audiences as a litmus test, so to speak.
Yeah, and to help the song grow. Because, like, if they're singing along with something, I'll probably put an extra chorus and it'll be a breakdown. Like, it changes as it grows. It takes a village to grow a song.
Oh, boy.
So then you know what I mean? Like, it does. It changes synergistically. So then after that happens, I start to make plans of how I want to have it produced. And I usually have a producer to work in collaboration with me that also has great ideas. When I went out to California recently to work with Jeff Trott, I took songs like Heart versus Mind and Love is Supposed to Be Fun, and I took them out there with ideas. But when he got them, he had these other fresh ideas that added to them. Adding the mandolin to Heart versus Mind just seemed to make all the difference to me. My idea was to add Love is Supposed to Be Fun, to add the steel drum. He didn't have that idea, but we worked in collaboration. Okay. So by the time I get into the studio, I have some idea of how I want them to be produced from talking to my team, my ideas, my producer's ideas. After they're all recorded, I usually discuss with my manager which ones we're going to release. And at that point, I've done all I can do with these songs. I love them. They're the best I can do with them at that moment. And then he usually says, here's what I think turned out best. Here's what I think the radio promotions person can place. Here's what I think sounds congruous so that it's part of your brand that we're presenting. There's business aspects of it that he's better at. So by the time it goes through all those little sifters, then it becomes the record that it is.
And so why'd you go with an EP this time and not a full length? I know you re-released.
Yeah, well, the EP is really the 4 songs from the EP. They're on a whole lot of highway, except there are remixes. Like Love is Supposed to Be Fun doesn't have the steel drum. It's like it's an island remix. Right. And so basically, I had a whole lot of highway out. And that is a fan club only CD. That's full length. That's 10 songs. And we knew that we wanted to either release the whole album with a new label from what we were working with before. We knew we were going to have changes made to it. Even if it was just as simple as when we release it again, it has like the label's logo on it. But they would probably add songs or change things or subtract songs. And when the next opportunity that came to us wasn't that, it was this great radio promotion company that we're working with out in Nashville. So the person, our rep there, decided that we should choose 4 songs. And that we chose them for different reasons. I mean, what we thought sounded the best produced, what represented my current sound the most. And then we also, one of them was a remake. It was a Gordon Lightfoot song that we feel is getting attention for movie and TV placement. So it was chosen, those 4 songs, that collection was chosen for that reason. And what we decided to do for the fans was now that what makes it different is that's downloadable, for iTunes, and you could stream it, whereas before the fan club only CD wasn't available in all those ways. So
Gotcha.
That's how we did it.
Now, and on that 4-song disc,
Yes.
which once again is called
Lipstick Tomboy, which is a piece of the words to Whole Lotta Highway, the song Whole Lotta Highway title track, which didn't make it to the EP. So I took out of the bridge, there's the word Lipstick Tomboy, so I took, referring to myself, so I took that and named the EP.
and you put that there.
Yeah.
Lipstick Tomboy. And that is other than self-explanatory, is there something else behind it?
Just the words to the bridge of the song, you know, tough granddaughter of a Marine, mixed up lipstick tomboy hitting the scene. So, it's cute.
Got it. If you're just clicking on your mouse, this is One More with Danny Coleman. I'm Danny Coleman. That's Lisa Bouchelle sitting over there across from me, singer-songwriter and international touring musician, television host, TV host, star of Rockstar Kitchen. What else am I forgetting?
I might cover it.
But that's Lisa Bouchelle. If there's any questions or any kind of comments you may have on this program, if you can please go to dcoleman.dreiss@gmail.com. I will gladly do my best to answer them or field them, and we'll go from there. But also on the disc is the remix or retake or redo of the one you did with John Popper.
Yes, that's actually the single that they're playing that a lot of the stations are picking up right now and adding to their playlist. That one's only the tequila talking, and we did a remix. I wanted to sing together on the second verse. We wanted to add some different percussion styles, and just we had a lot of ideas for it, and I love the way it turned out. I really do. It's a lot of fun.
I liked it the first time, and I like it just as much the second time.
Yeah.
So
Good. Well,
I enjoy it both. It's a great tune. The lyrics are great.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, I wrote the song with John Eddy.
with John Eddy,
Yeah.
that's what you were
Yeah.
saying. Yeah. I don't think people realize how many people John Eddy has actually written with or for.
Yeah.
Over the course of his career. Now you've shared a stage with, just off the top of my head that I can think of, besides Hal, who is Joan Jett's bass player and plays with does he still play with Gary?
Yes,
Gary U.S. Bonds?
he just did at the Count Basie. They had the Hope concert. He played with Gary and that night, and played with Southside that night too.
Southside, right? He also is your manager. I know you've also shared a stage. You sang that duet. Was it at Starland Ballroom with Bon Jovi?
Yes, in Sayreville, yeah.
No Place, what text name of it too?
Who Says You Can't Go Home.
Who Says You Can't Go Home, right. You opened for Meatloaf, toured with him until he got sick on that tour. You've toured with Ted Nugent, John Popper.
Blues Traveler, Dusk Gray Troubadours, and I've done a lot of different backup vocals. I've done some backup vocals at the Count Basie for Bruce Springsteen, for Bon Jovi. I've worked with a lot of people that I've on my TV show that I've sang with in a strange format, like just doing 3-part harmony and acoustic with like Foreign or something would normally be a full band, and because after we cook our food, we put it in the oven and sing.
Talk to it. Tell us about the tell the people.
So Rockstar Kitchen is you can check it out on rockstarkitchen.tv or at links from lisabouchelle.com. And basically what it is, it's a TV show where we bring on famous people, and the prerequisite is that they have to bring on a recipe. I always make sure they bring something that they learned on the road or something their grandmom taught them or something personal to them. So it sparks some conversation. And when we're cooking, we are in a very disarming atmosphere, and you hear like a lot of behind the scenes stories and stuff from the artists that you wouldn't normally hear. And they're famous people, and you just don't hear that side of their life, and it's a lot of fun. And then when we put the recipe into the oven, we sit and we sing, and we play acoustically and harmonize, and I play guitar with them, and it's just a really cool behind the scenes kind of cooking and music show. And it's on Comcast Network, TCN, the Comcast Network, and it's on 5:30 p.m. on Tuesdays and 8 p.m. on Sundays. It is on FiOS. You have to check on Rockstar Kitchen
Rockstar
TV,
Kitchen,
and it'll
right.
show you where it's on your particular.
Okay, and you've had Foreigner and
Chubby Checker, Lita Ford, Bowling for Soup, Blues Traveler, Gosh, we've had so many people.
Do you have somebody from REO Speedwagon, or what was the
No,
other?
I had Night Ranger.
Night
That's
Ranger.
who we were.
That's
Yeah.
I keep forgetting.
Theory of a Dead Man, Bowling for Soup. So we've ran the gamut on styles and eras, and yeah, it's been
Bowling for Soup. Then they did Stacy's mom, right?
Yeah,
They did
yeah.
So whose recipe was it? Bowling for Soups or Stacy's mom?
I don't know where. Well, actually, I think it was Bowling for Soups because the singer, his wife and him wanted to have chicken parm, and they didn't have the right kind of cheese or something, so they mixed it like with a Tex-Mex style because they just thought it would be creative. And so we did that with guacamole, and they made like the best guacamole. And the recipe was really delicious. So I guess it was a fusion.
Have you ever had one that's terrible and you kind of like?
No, I'm
Again,
just,
you know-
sometimes I'm not like it's not that I don't eat meat. I'm not vegetarian or vegan, but like I'm not like a big meat eater. So sometimes if it's like a lot of meat in a dish, it's probably great and I like it, but I don't appreciate it the way someone would if they were like serious carnivorous person.
Serious carnivores.
So it's not the recipe, it's just me. Everyone has their own personal preferences, you know?
Right.
And that might be something that I would cook if I was having a party or, you know, have several things out. I always do that. So it's always nice to learn new recipes.
So how does that work? Now you have a chef that works with you there, right?
I do.
That helps prepare the
We
meals.
may not in the
or-
next season. It may change.
Okay, all right. So for now, in the first, now, do they bring it there already pre-cooked, or they just bring the ingredients ahead and tell you this is what I need? I mean, what?
There's
How's that
a
work?
lot of tricks to the TV.
You don't want to divulge? That's fine too. We can go that
No,
way.
I mean, you know, in any cooking show, I must say, we do cook it there that day. You watch us, so we cook it. And we help the chef. Sometimes the artist is a really good chef and a good cook, so that our chef has become like the sous chef, like the assistant. Like Kelly Hansen from Foreigner, great cook, and he's going to do most of it, and then we're just like, you know, assist. But so we flex back and forth on that. But basically, we're always going to cook that recipe. The only thing is, you got to figure if we're cooking a recipe that has to go in the oven for a long time, this is
It's going to cook for 4 hours.
It's not scripted TV and it's natural, but you can't cook it for 4 hours on a half an hour show. So in that case, we'll make one ahead and we'll cook one and we'll put that in for real. But we'll take the other one out, and when we dine, you have to. I mean, I'm just giving a little secret, but every single show is like that. It's not just mine. I try to keep my reality show as real as possible, you know. But
Nothing wrong with that.
You can't make 4 hour
There are all
cooking
kinds of-
time. If you see my cousin Vinny, you learn the lesson. You can't cook grits. You can't cook food in less time than it takes everybody else to cook food.
That's true.
Yes. Watch my cousin Vinny.
And there are lots of TV tricks and secrets. I mean, really, when the cameras are off, right, Nash? When the cameras are off, I got hair down to my shoulders, and it's brown, and you know, and this is just so I look distinguished for the camera. Yes,
Extinguished.
I look extinguished.
Just a wig cap.
Thank you, Nash. Thank you very much.
I can do so much for you, Danny.
Well, yeah, it's not in the budget.
That's the thing, right?
That's just one of the many tricks that you see here.
I think TV.
This was supposed to be a green screen, so it looked like I was young and stuff, too. I wanted to do this show in front of the pyramids, Nash.
Oh, my God. That's funny.
Live from Egypt.
Live from Egypt. That's right. The club in Philly, they're thinking, I guess.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
So out of all the cities you've toured in and things that you've done, is there a favorite one?
Well, I've always loved New Orleans because I would go down there when I was a kid all the time. My dad would work part of the time, and I would always be down there. But so when I went through, that was actually where I started my very first tour, was in New Orleans. The very first city of my very first tour was in New Orleans in 2007.
Oh, great.
And I was like, thank God, because I knew the place, because it was scary.
Well, you know, yeah, but you see, you're no stranger to being kind of thrown out there. Mm-hmm. I heard you tell Mario something that I've known from the very first time I ever interviewed. You know, both of your parents had passed away at a very young age, and you've essentially been on your own since you were about 18, right, or so?
Yeah, so, I mean, you know, it gets in you and you learn. And I think that's a part of, like, learning, like we were talking about before we even went on camera, work ethic and stuff. You have to just sink or swim, so.
Well, and you know, it can be exactly that.
Yeah.
You know, I think today a lot of issues, why I think we as a societal thing have a lot of issues, is that parents don't let their kids sink.
Yeah.
anymore. I always just tell my children, who are now 24 and 21,
Yeah.
I love you enough to let you fail.
Well, yeah. It must be hard though, right?
Oh God, it's the hardest thing in the world to do. But I love you enough. I used to tell them 3 things. I love you enough to let you fail. I will not give you a hand out, but I'll give you a hand up.
Oh.
And I love you enough to let you hate me.
Oh, wow.
Fortunately, neither of my children have ever said that they hate me.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought all
believe it or
kids
not.
said that at one point.
Yeah,
in
so did
time.
I. I'm so knock wood. I'm lucky, but at some point you have to make them.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was 12, I complained to my mother my baseball uniform wasn't clean. She took me into the shed and said, "Here you go." Into the laundry room. That's how you do the laundry. Oops.
right. Now you can do the laundry.
That was the last time I ever complained about anything. Yeah, because the other time I complained about something, I wound up making my own school lunch from 5th grade on. Yeah, but
it's better though.
And that's my point. If you learn. If you're given the tools to succeed, people think that you get the tools to succeed, you're giving somebody a break, or how come I can't get that lucky, or I want this. They don't realize that you're given the tool. You were given the tools, Lisa Bouchelle, to succeed, and then you went ahead and used them.
Yeah.
And
it's more rewarding too.
Yeah.
At the end of your people's lives, I want to think, wow, look what I did,
Right.
Not look what someone gave me, like, look what I got because I deserved it, you know, that kind of thing. I'd rather do that and have less.
I was forced, 7 years ago now, I was forced to start over.
Yeah, I remember that was brave.
I was forced to start over, and here I am.
Health issues originally, right?
Right. Yeah. And, I lost a job that paid me very well. Mm-hmm. Now I can, and for lack of a better way of putting it, I don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of.
Yeah.
But I don't give up.
Yeah.
Because I was given the tools to succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even though I may not be a success in a lot of ways right now, I don't stop trying.
Right.
As soon as you stop trying, you're done.
Yeah.
It's like if you were thrown into the ocean and there was no land in sight, do you swim?
Yeah.
Or do you just stop because, oh well.
Yeah.
And you have to do it.
And it takes time to build things, like you said, when you start a whole job over again, it's like it takes a long time to build, especially when you want to do it your way and you want to go out and you want to build something this time that was your choice, and it does take a little longer, but it's better in the long run. So
the proverbial long run.
Yeah, the long run.
I've been hearing about the long run for quite a while now. For as long as I've been running, I should be 50 pounds lighter. But it'll get there eventually,
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know what? If I keeled over tomorrow, I'd be a happy man.
That's the thing, man. Hallelujah.
So you recorded this EP in L.A., right?
Part.
Okay, and the other part was?
New York.
New York. Okay.
And one at... Wait, let me think. Let me go through them all. Yeah. Well, they were all like a combination because, 2 of the songs were recorded in L.A. and mixed by Jeff Trott. And then the other one was recorded in New York City, and I guess mixed in New York City. And then the last one, this is what's interesting, was recorded here, but then mixed out in L.A.
Has your mastering engineer sent you a poison pen letter or anything?
I'm so mean to mastering people. I don't mean to be. All right, I won't say mean. I'm picky. I want my stuff to sound better, and I think overmastered stuff makes my stuff sound worse.
See, I hate overproduced
I hate overproduced too.
stuff as well. But what do you think of these pastries?
I had one out there, delicious,
They're
and they're beautiful
outrageous, aren't they?
presentation. Yes.
This
is great.
I'm telling you, that's our sponsor right next door, Antoinette Boulangerie, who specializes in creating delicate and sophisticated works of art using only the highest quality ingredients. Located at 32 Monmouth Street right here in the heart of Red Bank, New Jersey, they're a fully operational bakery with all of the baking done on their premises daily. In addition to the handmade variety of croissants in Danish, Antoinette's also offers a dizzying array. Look at that. I'm getting vertigo looking at them things. Of traditional French pastries, macaroons, cookies, and savory treats. Find them at AntoinetteBoulangerie.com. And Boulangerie is Boulangerie. Antoinette Boulangerie.
I do have a question about it all. And I was discussing with Mario, Danish, I note, is a collective noun. It's kind of like fish or deer, like you know how to do fishes or deers.
There's no Danishes.
Right on. Collective noun, is that the word?
Mario told you that?
No, I believe it's a collective. I'm verifying if that's the correct term.
I don't know. Can we get Nash? Can we get somebody from Antoinette on the phone here?
Collective noun. Well, I don't know if I don't know if she specializes in in that type of grammar information. She just makes delicious pastries.
Well, if you're going to make them, you should know about it. Then, right?
Maybe.
More wine. We need more wine.
Some wine.
We need. Yeah.
Anyway.
That's right. Like the cups, Lee?
I do.
See
this
that?
is good. And I got pink.
Yeah.
So cool.
We have green. I have green. And this is again, we're coming to you live from shameless plug, Monmouth Music right here in Red Bank, New Jersey. This is One More with Danny Coleman. That is Lisa Bouchelle. And what do you have coming up?
Well, I'd like to promote my New Year's Eve show because I'm very focused and excited.
Oh, I'm excited about that
yes.
one too. If
Are
I wasn't playing, I'd be.
That's right, you're playing. That's
gigging.
great though too. That's great. Yeah, I wish there were two separate nights because I would go to your show and then you could go to mine.
Correct.
But I'm opening for Willie Nile at the Union County Performing Arts Center, and the exact address and ticket information is on lisabouchelle.com schedule. So Willie Nile will. I'll start. I'm trying to think. I think I definitely do an hour. It's going to be listed on there exactly what time I start. I may go 8 o'clock to 9 or 9 to 10. I would rather people check the website because I'm so busy. I just can't remember.
Are you solo acoustic
but
or
I
full
am.
band?
Yeah, I am. I'm going to have a special guest. I'm going to have a special guest or two come up and play some stuff with me. But I will be doing acoustic solo. And then Willie Nile will be there with his band. And they will play through the new year. And it's going to be really fun. I think the whole thing goes till about 12:30.
Okay.
So it's going to be a good time.
That's good
It's a
that
great
Willie's
venue.
back on the East Coast. I mean, Light of Day is coming up, so
Yes.
he usually. Are you doing that this year at all? Or no?
Back here, probably, yeah. I
Okay.
should probably line that up, shouldn't I?
I'm
Yeah, I
guessing,
usually do. Usually do.
I mean, Willie usually does it every year.
Yeah.
Southside does it
yeah,
every year.
I've done it almost every year.
If Bruce isn't touring, he does it.
Does
so
it,
you know,
yeah.
that's why those tickets sell out
Yeah, I know.
like that. In like
I know.
25 minutes for
Yeah.
Paramount Theater.
Yeah, we did when I played with my band, we did the Paramount one year. Like I guess it was the night. I don't know if it was the night before Bruce.
Friday or
like,
Saturday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we were there with the full band, and that's a great venue. And I did an a cappella song that night just for the heck of it. I actually did Blackbird, which Mario was jamming on when I walked in. But I did an a cappella.
He does that.
Yeah, and yeah, I know he does that. He does that well. But yeah, and it was just it's like the sound in there. It's insane. It's so great.
Oh, and the Paramount.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm usually involved with that. Last year I wasn't involved because I don't know what happened. They used to have the same guy that runs the Opinions, Rob
James,
Dye.
okay.
Him and a
Yeah,
fella
Rob,
named
I know
Cook
that.
Smith. They used to do an open mic with all the musicians on
Okay.
Friday at the Wonder Bar
Okay.
across the street.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
And I used to do that and be part of the house band, either percussion or kit
Yeah.
or whatever.
That's
One year,
great.
me and Joey D'Angelo he was on
Oh.
drums, I was on percussion.
Oh,
I
that's
can't remember,
great.
but
That
we
must
played
have
for
been
like
so
3 or 4
much
artists in a
fun.
row. We had a blast.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, Johnny was playing with you for a while.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Johnny did my Blue Room with the Red Vase. He did that whole
That whole disc.
that whole tour. He didn't play
Okay.
on but he played that all
Oh,
the live
the tour,
stuff.
yes.
Yeah, he's a perfect drummer for that kind because it was a little more rock than the current one is a little more like Americana, a little more acoustic-y. But
Now-
yeah, he was perfect for that.
Now, you mentioned the Gordon Lightfoot
Yeah,
tune that you have on there.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
recently you were on my radio program, Rock on Radio, and you performed it live, which was
Yes.
spectacular.
Oh, thank you.
But tell the audience here why you chose to go with that one.
I like
I'm
it.
a Gordon Light. Well, I'm a Gordon Lightfoot fan myself, and I know you said that you heard it.
So good. I forgot. Like I guess I knew it at one point. I heard it on the radio or Sirius radio, I listen to like a lot of deep tracks, and like I'm trying to think of where I heard it. Classic Vinyl, Rewind. I love all those stations. Oh God, I love that stuff. So, and I drive from the gigs or rehearsals, so I'll be like late at night listening to that stuff. So I'm sure I heard it, and I had already known it. But I was like, I just started singing it, and then I'm singing around my house like, man, I sound good singing that song. I like that song. So I just like presented it to my team, but it was so funny because one of my fans, this is so weird. One of my fans, I'll say his name, Jim Zarzaki. He's moving to Nashville. So in case you're listening, Jim, he's like really insightful for different stuff I do. So I had just finished recording it and I hadn't released it yet. And he like wrote to me on Facebook. He goes, here's an old song you should cover. And he sent it to me. I was like, okay, that's a joke. You knew I just did that, right? And he's like, no. So weird. And I was playing it the other day at one of my shows in Burlington, New Jersey, and he walked to the door as I was playing it. It was so weird. So I don't know. I guess other people have said to me, that kind of music goes with your voice. So
Right.
yeah, I love that
you
stuff.
You do it very well.
Thank you.
Job. And it's, which Lightfoot song is it?
Oh, If You Could Read My Mind.
You Could Read My Mind.
Yeah.
Right.
It's such a beautiful picture. Like we were saying when I write, you were saying, like sometimes when I write, it creates like a story.
Mental pictures,
which
yeah.
meant so much to me because that's what I try to do. I think that song does that too. Like when I listen to his words, it sounds so mystical about the ghost and the wishing well and and it's all like things you think about in your mind. And I just like the whole
And there's some
song.
possible placement for that, you
Yeah. And we did it slow, like almost like Cowboy Junkies slow, like really slow. So like I wanted to just do it in my own style, which when I cover a song, I usually try to, but I always try to respect the writer's intention that as far as I could interpret what that is.
Right.
But yeah, I try to give it my own something.
What's the largest capacity crowd you've ever performed to?
The Meatloaf tours were all about 12,000 to 15,000 venue.
Now, what's that like when the lights go up and you see just that sea of...
You don't really
You only
see
see
much.
like the first 4 or 5
You don't
rows
really
anyway,
see
right? Because of the
much.
lights?
Yeah. And different venues are different. I mean, because, like, if you're going to a really big venue, sometimes the sound, is different. And it's not going to be the sound you get at a coffee house. And as a lyricist and as a singer-songwriter, that's going to be a whole different vibe. Your synergy with the crowd is not synergy where you're singing in a house concert. It's synergy with the whole room, and each venue is different. Like I always say, when I went to Hershey Park, and I haven't seen a concert there myself, I've been on stage there, but I haven't gone to buy tickets to see a concert just for fun there, and I will, because when I was there and we were opening for Meatloaf, I went up to the merch table, and I always remember this. Somebody was like, walked up and said, that third line in the third verse of your song Reinvent was what my daughter is dealing with right now. It's like, first of all, that's wonderful and that's great and that means a lot to me, but the fact that I thought about it, I'm like, how did she hear so crystal clear what the song, and I'm like thinking the acoustics in here must be amazing, because that's like a coffee house kind of comment or like a small club venue kind of comment in a huge arena. So I mean, so in that situation, you're thinking you're playing to this sea of people, but the sound was so good, and I guess
that they could
hear it that well. And some venues, I mean, I think venues are getting better. There's just better technology, but yeah. So I mean, it's different, but you don't see a lot. I didn't see. I mostly just saw the first couple rows, and it's like super black. To me, that was almost harder because at first I got used to it, but I was so used to seeing people's faces when I was singing. I could see it, like how they were receiving it. And I had no, like, point of reference. I'm like, well, here it goes. I hope you like it. It's weird, right?
I asked that same question, actually, of Vinny Lopez after Bruce pulled him on stage at either Lincoln Financial Field or Giant Stadium, one or the other.
Yeah.
I said, Vinny, what's that like to look out and see 70,000 people? He goes, 70,000? I think I see about 6.
Right.
He said, the lights are so bright and you're up on the drum riser, you can't.
Black, yeah.
Yeah, he said, after the first row or two, you're done.
Yeah,
you can't
yeah,
see
that's true.
anything. He says, of course, when the song's over and you hear them, it's a whole nother
totally.
adrenaline rush.
That's something. Yeah, I love that too. But I'll tell you what is nice, those side fills, like they got these side fills that are like bigger than me. It's
from the sound system.
Oh
yeah.
my God, you're like in heaven. My guitarist, my late guitarist, God rest his soul, Guy Peterson, dear friend, and he was on stage with me one
I
time.
forgot about Guy.
He was on stage with me one time when I first started with the side fills. I'm like, oh, turn them up. Like I couldn't get enough, So, which is probably bad for my ears at the time. But he's like, it's so loud. I'm like, Guy, if you don't like it, move back 5 feet because this is the Lisa Bouchelle show. And I've been waiting for good monitor system for a long time. But I had to turn it down because you can't keep doing that to your ears. But I wanted to bask in it.
See how funny that it's how life is really perspective, because I remember the first time I ever played the pony, the Stone Pony, and I'm thinking, why do I hear myself? Why does this sound? And whoa, there's a drum monitor. Whoa, woohoo! And you get happy, and then
you're spoiled.
Yeah, it's like whoa.
So funny.
Well, God, now that I'm 128 years old, my first question when somebody calls for a gig is it backlined?
I know.
You know how that goes.
So
So you have the gig with Willie coming up on New Year's Eve at the Union County
Performing Arts Center.
And any solo gigs in the area?
Tons.
Are we doing? Okay.
And I will. And right now they're constantly being updated because I'm doing a lot of booking right now. But I'm anticipating. Oh, and they're all on lisabouchelle.com, and they will be updated there. So if anything changes or I get additional information, that's the best place to go. But I'm anticipating probably getting a tour soon, so they may be changed. That's why I'd rather just everybody go there. And I apologize if that happens, but when that happens, I will make up those gigs as soon as I get back from whatever I'm doing. So sometimes things change because when I get the tour, I just have to move everything all around. And my local gigs I have to book so far in advance, and then when I get the tour I usually find out a month prior and have to move a chunk of 3 months or 2 months.
I don't think anybody seems to mind though, right?
No, it's I always like to honor what I'm doing. I just move it all around. I try to help sub them out and stuff. So
it's kind of for the venue owner or the venue management. It's kind of like a catch-22. They're
proud
disappointed, but yet they're proud to have,
they are.
Lisa's not going to be here because...
Yeah. And it does help. More people come when I get back. They're like, oh, let's see what she's all about. So.
Yeah, well, it helps them, and it helps you, right?
Yeah.
So I remember you telling me when you toured with Ted Nugent, I had asked you a question about, there's such a difference in styles.
Oh, yeah.
And how, sometimes, they don't book tours that way, but they're starting to go back to it more now, where there's two diverse type of musicians. So, and you said being on the road with him was I
sold a lot of merch. And it was very unexpected. I took the second half of that tour, as I think we spoke about before, because I was like, okay, let's take it, but let's not get carried away because this is so different from my style. And I had my band, The Blue, out with Johnny and Andrew, and but I was like, I don't know. So we took it, and it went so well. And when I was at the merch show, I was really shocked that people were so into the various styles. They were like, oh, well, back when we first started seeing Ted, this was done all the time. They would put a rock musician with a folk musician, and that was expected, and we liked the diversity. So I was like, wow, well, I got lucky because I didn't know that. I didn't be like, oh, that's how this will work in my demographic. I got lucky with it. But also another thing I found with that crowd, they get there really early, which for the opening act is a good thing. They enjoy seeing the opening act. That's important because if they can't see you, you can't sell your merch.
Which is kind of a far cry from back when I was a teenager, like my junior, senior year of high school.
Yeah.
I can remember being at the old Spectrum in Philadelphia, before they tore it down. And Blue Oyster Cult was who I had gone to see.
Yeah.
Blue Oyster was the second time I had seen Blue Oyster Cult.
I like that.
And there was a band opening up for them called The Cats.
Okay.
The Cats. And I remember this because by the second song, first of all, they were late going on. So the place was almost full to capacity.
Right.
It wasn't like they went on at 7 and the Cult was due to come on at 8:30.
Right.
But the place was packed. And by the second song, people are flipping them off. And,
really?
Get on.
Now you're scaring the crap out of me.
No, but, but they were two diverse acts.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, God, I hope that never happens to me.
Of course,
right?
who doesn't hope it doesn't happen to them?
And then the same
Look at
thing.
this candy cane, pull them.
And then I can
A
remember
big
also,
cane comes on.
it was like
Gong.
the Gong Show.
Cane, pull me off.
I remember seeing Elvis Costello, believe it or not. Elvis
Right.
Costello in the attractions. In Princeton University, there's 2 gyms. There's a big one, Jadwin, and then there's a smaller one called Dillon Gym.
Okay.
It's a little bigger than a high school gym. It only holds like 500 people.
Right.
He had an opening band called the Rubinos.
Okay.
They were horrendous. The only song, which was their last tune of the
But you're
night.
still remembering all the band's names.
Well, do you know why I remember this?
No.
Because they were the worst opening acts I'd ever
my
seen.
God,
and the
so
people were just angry.
Oh my God.
The Rubinos, their big hit that night was Sugar Sugar by the Archies.
Okay.
That was their cover tune that they redid. They got booed off the stage, and then Elvis Costello comes on, plays 55 minutes, and walks off, says, I'm out of here.
Wow.
I thought the place was going to be set on fire. So an opening act does make a huge difference.
Yeah, I
you
guess
know?
you're right. Yeah.
And I mean, fortunately, you're incredibly talented, and I can't imagine that ever happening
Yeah, I hope not for you.
to you. But, you know, I mean, sometimes things just, you never know.
Yeah.
It really is a crapshoot. But you see,
Yeah.
you've got good music, you're attractive,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean,
you're like a triple threat. So
Yeah, but you think that is a big difference.
Right.
Even with my full band, Ted Nugent and my band, Lisa Bouchelle and the Blue.
yeah, right. True. But you know, you also have a stage presence.
Mm-hmm.
One of my most favorite moments was at one of the Jam for Lifes when you redid Fever.
Oh, Fever. You know, Hal loves that. Hal helped me put that together. He loves playing that. Every time he comes to sit in with me, he's probably listening. He always just
hope
starts
so.
it. He starts it like, well, he's trying. He might be in the middle
Right.
of a business call. You know, he's always working. But he always starts it like, even if I don't say, okay, let's do Fever, he'll just start it. I'm like,
Right, because you do that so well.
I love
because,
that
you know,
song. Yeah.
it's perfect for you
Oh,
too, with your
thanks.
vocal, and it's
Yeah,
just
it's a rangy
it's a great
tune.
tune.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just a phenomenal tune. So we gotta go, Nance. How much time we have there? No, we got 4 minutes yet.
Oh, we can talk a lot. This is
Oh
great.
yeah, and then we're gonna talk about Mario while you get ready to perform.
Awesome.
So I want to thank everybody for tuning in again tonight. This is Lisa Bouchelle. I'm Danny Coleman. This is One More with Danny Coleman. And Lisa is going to play a couple of tunes for us very shortly
Yes.
once we wrap things up. We talked about movie placement. We talked about how, or you talked about, I should say, how you've wanted this since you were 4.
Yes.
What will be the penultimate experience for Lisa Bouchelle?
I don't know. I mean, people ask me the question, and I try to answer it because I feel like I should, but I don't know.
Wait,
Some of my
Others
favorite.
have asked you that?
Yeah, well, it's a good question,
Ah.
but I mean, and I've tried to always answer it, but every
first.
time, well, no, every time I've answered it, I felt like I just answered it because I thought I should. But my real answer from my heart is that I don't know, because some of my favorite things that have happened to me through my career, big and small, have been very unexpected. But like I said, I will continue to try to meet opportunity with preparedness, and who knows what's coming down the road, you know?
No, that's good advice for anybody who's watching this, or any of your fan base that happens to be musicians, or maybe some young, kids that look up to you, and I always, it amazes me because I know several in this business who actually have gotten the opportunity and just said, it'll come along again. What? I'm waiting for it to come the first time. You've had it twice and said no? Sometimes you just can't. You have to strike while the iron's, hot. And I'm not sure people totally understand that, So, I'm being handed a note.
Ooh.
A note. I'm waiting for him to make paper airplanes and throw them at me.
Get a drone.
Guess who's that's what I'm thinking. Guess who's Papa Carl is tuning in.
Papa, hey Papa, what up?
Papa Carl's in the chat room, and he says, "What a great show!"
Oh,
Thank you, Papa.
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 I want to send a shout out too to Hamilton Police Department out there, if y'all are listening. Yeah, that's Hamilton Township, maybe the Detective Bureau, if they're probably working hard. But if they happen to have me on in the background, that would be great. And if you do, thank you for all you do. And hey,
That would be fantastic. Yeah, you know what? I saw 2 Hamilton cops. Oh, we got more. Look,
Getting a lot of shout outs.
is this another Paper airplane? Oh, wait, now it's on a napkin. Do we not have a pad? Is that not in the budget? Nash, what is going on, Nash?
You guys should text each
Costs a
other.
little bit too much.
Y'all should
God.
text each other.
Last time somebody handed me a napkin like this was in a bar, and I was told that my zipper was down, for God's sake. Let's see.
You okay there, Dad?
Woohoo! Kevin Michelson says, hello,
Hey,
Lisa.
what up, Kevin?
We'll see you Saturday at the Nile concert.
Oh, that'll be awesome. That'll
See?
be awesome.
We'll
Yeah.
stick this over here. I know that you'll probably want to take these home and frame them because they're
I do.
so beautiful.
Keep in my scrapbook. And Hal B. Seltzer, of course, a double shout out.
Hal, Hal. Well, next time you're off tour, stop on in here, Hal.
He should have stopped in.
I'm telling you, I
was
thought he
working,
would.
though. Oh,
He is.
I've got him so busy with stuff right now. Well, when I'm talking about upcoming tours, that's
All right, Hal. Next time
Albert.
she's on tour, we'll come on
Yeah.
over. Well, I'll tell you what, Lisa. You turn around and get yourself ready to play.
Yep, okay,
I'm
absolutely.
going to stand up here, and I'm going to take my microphone because that's what I do, and I'm going to go see my good friend Audra. Hello, Audra.
Hello.
Audra, the camera operator. Did that raise come in yet, by the way? Audra?
Right? I'm waiting.
One More with Danny Coleman is coming to you live from Monmouth Music right here in Red Bank, New Jersey. Established in 1987, Monmouth Music is located in the center of historic Red Bank. For 30 years, Monmouth Music has served the local and traveling musician with brand name instruments and accessories at everyday low prices. Monmouth Music also welcomes aspiring musicians of all levels with a broad selection of affordable instruments, including school orchestra instruments for both sale and rental. Monmouth Music also provides student lessons by their long-tenured music teaching staff. In addition to providing brand name instruments and complete lesson plans, Monmouth Music is home to Bob Pinto's Guitar Hospital, who specializes in string instrument repairs. There's also an in-house professional amplifier repair service by BP Electronics. Monmouth Music is owner-operated by our good friend Mario DiBartolo, woohoo! Which ensures you will get professional and personal service every day. Come to Red Bank, New Jersey, and visit Monmouth Music. If you make the trip, you won't be disappointed. And right now, you guys are not going to be I'm guaranteeing, no pressure, Lise. I'm guaranteeing that you will not be disappointed. Are we ready to go, fellas? We ready, Nash? We're all set. Production room is ready out there. We're good. Good to go. There you go. I got the thumbs up. Right now, coming to the stage. Put your hands together, even though I won't hear it. But this is for Miss Lisa Bouchelle.
If I could find a drug to give me the rushing of love, I'd stay home and just get high. Then I'd turn on the TV, pour a little wine to soothe me. Swear it's all I really need to get by. My heart did what my mind would never. My heart did what my mind would never. My heart did what my mind would never do. When I fell in love with you, I'll carry our love, you understand, like a secret contraband, like a ancient language in the stone. If they find that hieroglyphic there, read a love that's so terrific, best thing I ever called my own. My heart did what my mind would never. My heart did what my mind would never. I didn't stop to think it through. My heart did what my mind would never. This can't go on forever, since I fell in love with you. And I did just what they told me that I should never do. Get my life all stuck in go and get hung up, but my thoughts come back to you. 'Cause my heart did what my mind would never mind. Heart did what my mind would never mind. Heart did what my mind would never do. My heart did what my mind would never. This can't go on forever. Now I can't deny it's true. My heart did, my heart did, my heart did, my heart did what my mind would never do. When I fell in love with you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. So I guess I'm going to do another song, and this song is a song I barely ever perform because it's entitled The Day After Christmas. So, not sure how well it translates acoustically, but it is on my Christmas record. I have to do it because it's the day after Christmas. So everyone hold on to that Christmas spirit throughout the year in every way possible.
The day after Christmas, and the tree will come down soon. We'll pick up our presents and we'll take them to our rooms the day after Christmas. Well, it's always bittersweet, but you can hold on to the greatest gift of all. The day after Christmas, hold on to the love. The day after Christmas, oh, you've been dreaming of, like the joy and the cheer. Hold it close, keep it near. Make a promise now to make it last. Oh, here, the day after Christmas, the day after Christmas, the day after Christmas. Make a promise this year. The day after Christmas, and you get back to the rush. Songs of peace and goodwill. Yeah, well, I just don't mean as much. The day after Christmas, when you put the gifts away, you can hold on to the greatest gift of all. The day after Christmas, hold on to the love. The day after Christmas, oh, you've been dreaming of, like the joy and the cheer. Hold it close, keep it near. Make a promise now to make it last. Oh, yeah. The day after Christmas, the day after Christmas, the day after Christmas. Make a promise this year, 'cause it's time to come together and let the music play. Keep the music going so the magic can stay. So Christmas can be more than just one day. Yeah, now Christmas can pave a brand new way. The day after Christmas, the day after Christmas, the day after Christmas. Make a promise this year. The day after Christmas.
There we go, Lisa Bouchelle here on One More with Danny Coleman. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you very
That's
much.
such a good time.
Look at this, what we have here. Guy Masucci from the Hamilton Township Police
All
Department.
right,
Says
woo!
thanks for the shout out.
Yeah.
That's where I grew up, man. Thank you. Thank you. They never harassed me much when I was a
There you
kid.
go.
Where are we at here? Which camera, Nash? Help me out. This one right there, that one right there.
Hi.
There's 3 of them right here within 3
We're
feet of us.
surrounded by cameras. You gotta love it.
Lisa Bouchelle this Saturday night, New Year's Eve, at the Union County Performing Arts Center, opening for Willie Nile. Look her up, lisabouchelle.com. I want to wish all of our viewers and listeners and people tuning in a very happy, healthy, and prosperous new year.
Yes.
Coming back in January, our next show will be January 2nd, next Monday night. We have Danny Rongo. In the month of January, we have Danny Rongo, Zara Phillips, Vicky DeRosa, Mary Walter, and one other. I cannot remember who the other
What
guest
a great
is.
lineup, my
I'm telling
gosh.
you, we do. We have Mary Walter from a longtime radio personality who'll be coming in here at the end of the month, and I've been looking forward to that for
It's
a while.
awesome.
So, all right, Lisa, thank you so
you.
much.
All right. Peace. Thanks
We're
to
clear,
everybody.
Nash. We're getting ready to go right there. Okay, again, everybody, thank you. Happy New Year to you all, and thank
Happy
you
New
for
Year.
tuning in. One more.
That was.